Welcome back to Chaos Creations. Now, let me do a few quick things before I get into the meat and potatoes. The new computer is up and running, and I am learning how to play with Windows 11. And I'm feeling much better after the funeral. I'm in a much more positive place, and this is where we are. Now, I've got a lot of scavenging to do, but at the moment, I want to do some videos about 3D printing, hiding layer lines in both big and small miniatures. Now, you can see before you a rather large Nurgling, sort of Great Unclean One style, and this one is more of a, I think, a Bloodthirster type with these big scythe claw at the back and such. And what I'm going to be doing is I am going to be doing a couple of videos, well, a lot of videos on painting and hiding ley lines in much bigger models. Now here we have a little blood letter. Ooh, don't you wobble on me there, sir. Down the bottom here, so you can see scale. These things are huge. I also have some puppies of Nurgle here. I also have a winged Nurgle guy, and I have a sort of a very unusual demon prince. Now the ones in green are a little hard to see. I am sorry, but it was what was available at the time. And I also have some of these, which are like the puppies of Nurgle. That's the original size, and I've made them a bit bigger, a bit taller, and I've made a couple a bit longer, given that more old, sort of like slimy sort of look about them. Now, all of these miniatures here are all from my mini factory, from one person called Duncan Shadow. Duncan does a lot of amazing stuff. At the moment, I am printing the wings for my Bloodthirster here. They're actually wings for Cthulhu. Now, I do have a pair of Hive Tyrant wings that I was going to use for my Bloodthirster here, but I put them in a safe spot. A spot so safe, I just can't find it. And it's driving me absolutely batty. I'm turning the place upside down. I've also decided to put a lot of stuff into cold storage because I just don't have the room, and I want to make this place a little bit more organized. As you can tell, everything in the back is nicely organized, paints and so forth, but I'm still cramped for room. So I'm going to put in a filing system. So all my sprues, it'll be like, let's turn it, plunk in there. Behind that, there'll be another folder. This will be all, undead, plump, and away we go. That way, if I'm just looking for something, I can just go to there, pick it up and take it out, and away we go. And also for paints and so forth as well, I'll just have, blocks of paints, maybe on some sort of rotation thing, so I can just pull out paints. No, not that one. There it is, plump, put it back, away we go. And it's also learning for me. Anyway, there are a couple of things I want to talk about today, but let me just start with this. So these are printed in PLA Plus at 0.2. Now, if I print them at 0.1, I get a lot less layer lines, but that defeats the purpose of these videos. The bigger the model, the harder it is to hide layer lines, and the harder it is to hide it in paint. You'd think that, but it's not that tough, believe it or not. It's actually quite simple. And 0.2 means more layer lines, and they're easier to see than 0.1, but I'm like a challenge. So I'm going to do some videos on how to hide layer lines in bigger models, and also show you some new techniques for printing with these guys in that are much smaller as well. Well, they're not that much smaller really, but you get the idea. Now, before I forget, I want to talk to you about what's happening with GW in Australia, because I am seeing some, absolute dumpster fires in chats, both in Reddit and on Facebook and Twitter at the moment. Australians are not happy. So it's now been week 3 of a whole lot of stuff that's been shown around the world that isn't available in Australia. Most of it's like the Crone stuff that is just been out for ages, and it's still not available in Australia. And we've also noticed the fact that the Orcs have come out for the old world, and they're not available. The big box set isn't available. Some of the other smaller stuff is at disturbingly huge prices. I mean, some of the posts I'm seeing is not pretty. But yes, the major box set isn't available yet. Now, it's common knowledge now that what GW are doing is they are selling to the rest of the world, and then after a while to Australia, New Zealand, and Japan, on the Asian market in general, I would assume. They're building a new warehouse, and at this moment they are limited in space. So what they're doing is they will give to the rest of the world, and then once they're ready, they'll give it to Australia. Now, the Krone box set in particular, I was kind of interested because the miniatures were quite unique and so forth, but I'm seeing a lot of people that have gone, nah, it's been 3 weeks, screw it, I'm going elsewhere, and they're just going off and buying resin prints. That said, I have a friend of mine who does some resin printing and does a lot of GW models, and he told me Sunday that he's bought 3 big resin printers because the demand for GW style miniatures has gone through the roof in Australia. It's just absolutely insane. And this is where I think GW are going to have to do some fantastic PR with Australia. Because at the moment, I have not been in the business of printing models and so forth, and I'm getting message from people saying, hey man, do you still have your resin printer? I need 600 orcs and 300 gobos, or I need this, I need 50 spiders, with gobbo riders, can you do it? And I'm like, I'm sorry guys, I don't do that anymore, this is just me for myself now. And they're like, well, do you know anybody? People are starting to really understand the fact that GW prices in Australia are stupidly high. And also the fact is, we're just not getting the product. And GW are just like sticking their head in their sands going, la, 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 la. I mean, I went into a GW store last week on a weekend, and it was quiet. There was no one around. I mean, there's plenty of people in the shopping centre, but the actual shop itself, and I just sort of went up to one of the people and had a talk with him. He said, oh yeah, it's been pretty quiet of late. And I said, well, you really don't have a lot of new products, having a bit of a jib. And he said, oh no, we've got this new miniature here and that new miniature there. And, we've got pre-orders for this miniature, not box sets, just miniature. And I'm like, all right, fine, no worries then. And then I went to another store the other day, and once again, it had like one person in there, but the person behind the counter was looking pretty bored. And this is in the central heart of Perth City, so you would think there'd be at least some people wandering through, but no, maybe I caught them at a bad time, who knows. So at the moment, GW are just pretty much ignoring Australia for the most part, I think, because, they've got a limited supply. And look, I love the fact that they bought out some of the orcs and goblin stuff. Don't like the prices, to be honest with you. They're just making me cry. And people are saying on some of the groups, if this is the prices for an orc and goblin miniature, $55 for one miniature, or $58, I think it was, then how is a box set of orcs and goblins, how much is that going to be? And then the dwarves, oh my god, the dwarf players, they're like dwarves. They are so fanatical about, their dwarves, they're shorter miniatures, so they shouldn't be more expensive, and we should get more of them, and oh yeah, all right, no worries, and just stroke your beard, guys, and just relax. So GW do have a bit of a PR problem with Australia, and it's only going to get worse and worse and worse. The prices are only going to go up. Let's face it, GW are never going to put down prices, ever. And the supplies are getting pretty bad. I've given up on the Krone box set because, I liked it. It looked pretty interesting and unusual, had some nice miniatures in there, and I could convert them for Mordenheim, not a problem. But I've given up. I was thinking about the Orcs and Goblin box set, but now, no, I'll pass. So I'm going to do some different techniques with these, some old cosplay techniques that I've known for ages, and I'm going to make them look pretty smooth, hopefully. So I'll do the Nurgle guy more than likely today or tomorrow, and I'll just do some touch-up videos just to show you the basics and such. He has to have his wings printed to be a Bloodthirster, because let's face it, Bloodthirsters need those wings. So they're being printed today. They're 9 hours to print. And then I can glue them on and green stuff them in and such, maybe pin them. Anyway, so I'll be doing a long video from the very basic to the very end. And I'll hopefully improve my editing techniques and how I show stuff. And we'll go from there. So you're not going to hear from me for a little while because I am going to be busy. But hopefully in the end, I will have something wonderful to show you. Now, I do have some competitions running. You can win some Legions Imperialis tanks that I 3D printed, planes, all sorts of things going. And I also have a box set of the starter set of Adeptus Titanicus, which comes with a whole lot of Reaver Titans, some Warhounds and Knights and so forth. It's just a starter box set. It's gather and dust. I'd rather give it away, and I'll give that away. I think it's 1,500 subscribers. Anyway, at the moment, let's get this going and have some fun. And remember, love the game, love life, chaos out.